title about how Stan went to Chili's or something like that because it was Chili's and then jacked me up.
What did you get at Chili's that caused
the triple play?
You got the what?
And the triple play and some
queso.
queso.
Yep. The triple play with 3 appetizers.
Triple play, is that's what caused your belly to do the
I guess so, man. I have no clue, bro. I worked at Chili's for years. Anyway, so Johnny, I guess, started this whole thing that I crapped my pants, and that's why I wasn't on the show. And I told the story on the stew about how I did crap my pants when I was younger as an adult. I was in the office all by myself, and I don't know. I was probably watching porn or something. I don't
crapped your pants while watching porn. What kind of porn were you watching?
I got. Dude, I get food poisoning. I eat too much fast food. I got food poisoning that time too. Yeah. See, I didn't crap my pants this time though.
You'd be surprised at how many times an alcoholic shits their pants. I shit my pants over my 25 years of alcoholism. Near the end, I was averaging about twice a year. I'd shit my pants at work. Have to leave. I had like an extra pair of underwear in my drawer at work. Yeah, because I would just shit my pants. Be like, fuck, I got to do this project. I got a presentation to have.
Didn't you shit on the sidewalk one time?
And
yeah,
guess what?
That was
we're live.
That was outside
Sweet.
a bar.
Thanks for letting me know we're live. Awesome.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh
yeah,
my god.
You're kind of a jerk, bro.
That's embarrassing.
Rumors confirmed. Stan shit his pants.
I never. Welcome to your Vape Hot Tub. It's Friday. It is a fantastic day, and you know what we like to do here. It's a Vape Hot Tub. We like to get bubbly. We like to get sudsy. And we like to have some fun. We're going to warm up the weekend, kick this weekend off with a little fun, some laughs, a little advocacy, and probably the most handsome man in the vaping community, at least in my opinion.
What's up, Charlie?
Between you two. It's between you two.
There's a lot of sexy on this panel.
There's quite a bit of sexy. There's quite a bit of sexy on this panel right now. We're pretty hot.
I think I screwed up my oh my gosh, I figured out what it is. Oh my gosh, I messed this up.
What'd you mess up, Stan?
The damn deck's not going back in my Integra, and I think dude, I bent the threads.
Your volume's down, Stan.
I bent the threads. Sorry. I
like your voice. You have a good voice. I want to hear it. You need radio voice.
I bent the threads. What's going on, friends? It's your boy Stan Tenacious TX Vapes, and you are listening to Vape Radio.
Vape Radio. This is Hot Tub Radio.
Oh, this is you are listening to the Vape Hot Tub Friday before the stew, and Grandpa up there is drinking coffee.
It's grandparent.
I'll be right back. I got to get some pliers.
I was just gonna pass you the mic to do. Okay, Charlie, what are you vaping on? Let's get this show started. For God's sakes, we have like 175,000 people watching us right now, Charlie. We cannot be slacking. We got to stay on task.
Let's see. I am vaping on the Ohana with my Orlox Guardian DNA 250 from. Dan's gonna have to tell me. It's either Mark Clough or
Mark Clough of Gathering Vapor.
Yeah. So and Mark's a great guy. I think I've always mispronounced his name until I heard someone else say it the other day. But it's Mark Clough. Love his boxes. The Ohana. I'm loving it. Great experience so far. And my billet box, rocking the Zeta in there with a little brass drip tip that I picked up for $1 on sale. And my 2 pods, the Caliburn and the Orion with SQ panels, signature tips panels.
Very nice.
And that's it.
That's a pretty good buffet. You want to? Did you bring any high end stuff to the show today, Stan?
High end stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
you're a high end guy.
My Caliburn.
Yes.
I'm gonna get some. Hang on, I'm gonna get some batteries to put in what I just showed.
Why don't we let's just fuck it. Let's just restart the show. Why don't we just restart it?
Why?
Let's just all get up and leave. Let's just all leave. What do you say? I'm out of here. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Stan, it's your show now. Do the show.
No, I walked off with you.
I was gonna say, why don't we all just get up and leave? Like we literally sat and talked for like an hour before the show started. Nobody moved. Nobody moved. We all talked, hung out, and then all of a sudden the show starts.
That's
I'm
the
trying-
problem. We were enjoying the conversation.
I'm trying to not do a TVC and actually vape on what I have in my buffet, so I needed some.
Oh,
My problem is that I totally jacked up a very high end and hard to get tank, and I'm trying to fix it right now without messing it up because I think I can fix it without you ever being able to tell.
cool.
And
What are you vaping on over there, Stan? Give us a little bit of I like to live vicariously through your vaping. What are you vaping on?
Vaping on the Palm Plus with the Le Turbo on top
Fucking
with
Palm
an ugly
Plus.
drip tip.
I actually like that. That's a sexy setup, man.
Yeah, I really dude. I'm very, very impressed with this RDA. It looks like a tank, but it's not. It's an RDA.
It looks like an RDTA.
Yeah, it's not though. Here.
Oh my god, that's unique. Holy cow.
Yeah, the airflow comes in. Oh, damn it. The
What?
airflow comes in behind the coil there.
Yeah.
If it'll focus. There it goes. And the actual juice well is behind it. But you would think it would be super turbulent and everything. It's not, man. I'm actually very much enjoying it. And it has like 6 to 8 different airflow settings. And the squonk hole comes in the back there. So like when you squonk it, I just squonked the whole bottle in there. It's gonna be juicy as hell now.
What is the name of that RDA?
It's called the Le Turbo by the Vaponaut. They only make so many, and I've got like number 700 something. So I don't know how hard they will be to get a hold of. But
I might have to
vaping
throw
on
some of my cloud around.
that. Yeah, do it. I'm vaping on that. I'm vaping on my Warlock Stagger with the OG recoil on it.
Nice.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm also vaping on shit that's falling on the floor. I'm also vaping on the isolation tank on top of my Hexome, my Return to Houston, Texas Vape Showcase Edition.
Sexy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm vaping on right now. I got one more thing. The Psychro on my DPM Limo box. And that's all that I'm vaping on right now.
You literally vape on stuff I've never heard of.
I've been all about the white Delrin and the black and white boxes lately.
Really?
Dude, the DPM, they make some of the best crap. Like, it's really good and it's super affordable. Well, it's a lot more affordable than a lot of other box mods that would be considered, you know. So like I don't think they have anything over 300-ish unless you get like Stabwood.
Well,
So-
I'm still on so I've been alternating between the Ohana and the Intake Dual, and I love both of them. I'll tell you, this Intake Dual is a phenomenal RTA. Really, really, really enjoying this. So
I don't have that.
I got
one
this
yet.
Asmodus box. I don't even know what this is. Do you know what this is?
Lustro? Lustro?
No, it's not the Lustre.
It's not the Minikin.
Minikin, I think it's a Minikin V3 or Minikin Pro V3.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. I dropped the shit out of it the other day. It's still ticking. It's like Timex.
That's that.
Takes a licking. Keeps on working.
Dude, I got some vape mail. First time in a while since all this bullshit came up. I got the old TS Squonk mod.
Nice.
You just got that?
Yep.
You'll love it. That's
I
a
got
phenomenal
I
mod.
got it on sale with a coupon code for $40 new.
Oh, wow.
Dude, he runs kick-ass sales, man.
and
That's
I
a great price.
I picked up also last week. I picked up a Recoil Rebel because I got a good deal on it, and
Nice.
my Ohana. But it was awesome because ever since all this shit came up, I haven't been buying anything.
I
So,
haven't bought anything either. I need to actually get some things. I need to do a little like shopping spree,
Yeah.
grab some
Yeah.
stuff. I haven't bought anything.
The Ohana. I tried the Ohana in its prototype state because I was in Alabama and saw Heavy a couple times and loved it. So I was scared I was going to be disappointed. Like once I got it after that great experience, like maybe I built it up in my head too much. No, it's it's fucking awesome. For me, it's
Great
just
RDA.
perfect. Like I was a big recurve, still am, big recurve dual guy. And just like the recurve dual open, the airflow is just right for me on this thing. So
Yeah.
flavor is banging. Nice throat hit with 6 milligram. Just love it.
Yeah, I've had a really good experience with the Ohana. Really good experience. I really, really, really like it a lot. That and the intake, like the last two things that I've reviewed, I've just absolutely loved.
Yeah, I'm gonna get at least one intake dual. I may pick up 2 of them, but I want them in my Apocalypse collection for sure because it's just a great thing to have anytime.
I usually find a way to like almost everything that I get. I try to be honest with the little quirks and stuff about stuff, but everything's so damn good now.
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder to pick out. Like, used to, there would be huge cons. Like, you might get something that had rust in the deck or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now.
I think, dude, I'm sorry. I'm having OCD right now. Like, I'm like freaking out that this multiple $100 RTA is
Well, it looks like we got quite a few people rolling in the chat. I see Jane has joined us from the UK Vape Expo.
Oh, I got it.
Hello, Jane. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you're watching it at the expo. Give us some exposure over there, UK lads. She's got a build. Jane has her own build area for the Shy Tots build area. It's pretty cool.
I didn't find when I was over there 6 months ago. I don't even remember how long ago it was. I don't remember seeing her booth. I know she was somewhere with like a booth, but she found me. That's for darn sure. It was awesome.
Wasn't Jane in the running the builders gallery?
Yeah,
I guess so.
She sponsors it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. See, that's what sucks. I didn't get a chance to walk around that thing like I wanted to.
I'd love to go. If I was going to go to one of the Vape Expos, I think I would go to UK just because then I could spend a couple days like vacation, do stuff over there while I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And because quite frankly, like for me to go to New York or do anything like that, it really isn't that much cheaper than to just pull the trigger and go to the UK. It's not that much more. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So good to see everybody. We do something here now. Stan, you've been on the show quite a few times. You know that we do a little something around here called funny news.
Funny news.
Funny news. And
okay.
Charlie, my man, you got any funny news this week, Charlie?
Yeah, I do. I've got a couple.
Oh, thank God. I love funny news.
I figured we would start out the weird news with a bang. So our first news story is angry mom takes daughter to court after she breaks her bed having sex.
Who broke whose bed? Mom broke the girl's bed?
Apparently the girl broke, I guess, her own bed, and the mom was like, this is the last time you're going to have to pay for this bed. And
the last time? How many times she broke the bed?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why mom was
the fuck?
But it says her name was Rhiannon, and it says Rhiannon claimed her mom was also to blame for the broken bed. What? And she has heard things you cannot unhear as a daughter. This is part of the legal proceedings. So the mom basically sued the daughter, saying, "You broke this high-end bed, making whoopee on it." And the daughter's like, "It might have broke with me, but you've definitely worn it out yourself, Mom."
I've learned it from watching you, Mom.
Right.
I've learned it from watching you.
It says. And it says mum, not mom. They're in Australia, so they do the old mum thing. Got it?
I fixed it.
All right. Maybe now you can pay attention to the show.
I'm sorry. Dude, I have the worst. Worst.
Right back into place.
Hey, he's not wrong, bro. I can't think of anything else whenever like I'm freaking out about something. I'm sorry.
Okay. We'll let you slide. So it says, a furious mom who discovered her daughter had broken her bed having sex is demanding she pays her 1,600 pounds for a new one.
Wow.
Expensive bed.
1,600 pounds? 1,600 pounds of what? I'd give her 1,600 pounds of ham.
That's Rihanna? Yeah. Rihanna did that?
Rihanna. Yeah.
She's a sassy ass.
Yeah. So Nicole.
She let Chris Brown in there with her.
Nicole has been at loggerheads with her daughter Rhiannon ever since her night of, quote, intense passion, which saw and an unnamed lover snap the bed frame and break several wooden slats.
How come the guy gets off, or woman, depending? How come the lover gets off scot-free here?
Unnamed here? Yeah, maybe
Don't
he's...
bring me into this.
I don't know. So Rhiannon claims she cannot afford to pay her mom for a replacement, but Nicole has branded her excuse as, quote, bullshit. Such as the bubbling tension and bad blood between them, the pair can barely speak 2 words to each other. So to settle the matter once and for all, Nicole dragged Rhiannon on an Australian TV court show called Trial by Kyle.
Oh, Kyle's got his hands full now.
However, it left viewers scratching their heads. In the opening case, Nicole gave her side of the story first and told Kyle, "My partner and I went away for a week and Rhiannon was house sitting for us. I said that she could have a spare room which has a nice queen-size bed in it. Nothing wrong with it. When we returned, the house was a mess, and when I went upstairs to my bedroom, I discovered that my bed was broken. I felt very violated by the fact that she broke it and didn't actually care that she broke it." And
or
so
you felt very violated that your daughter was having sex in your bed.
Right. So I wonder how she knew that it was intense passion that led to that.
Yeah.
Nope. It was just
could have been some night
off
terrors.
the street, one night stand.
A baffled Kyle told Rhiannon, "On mom's bed? Darrell, that's the least romantic place I can imagine being with someone, on my mom's bed." Rhiannon went on to explain to the judge she broke the bed with some intense passion. "Why didn't you bang in the other bed?" Kyle asked her. It tells you the quality of court here when the judge says, "Why didn't you bang in the other bed?"
Sounds pretty. This courts are a little weird in Australia.
"The honest truth," she said, "is my friends were in that bed." When Rhiannon said he couldn't afford to pay the £1,600, which works out to right at $2,100, that her mom wanted for a replacement bed, Nicole yelled, "You broke the bed, you pay for the bed." So let's get on to when she was outside the courtroom. Rhiannon continued to argue her case on camera and claimed she wasn't solely responsible for the broken bed. "My mom most definitely contributed to the breaking of that bed," she said. "I have heard things that you cannot unhear as a..." Busted!
That is terrible.
Oh man, that's going to be quite a story for the guy.
These two ladies need some God in their life.
Mommy, why don't we see Grandma anymore?
Did they have a picture of them? Are they cute? Did they leave a number? Possible.
There are pictures. Ooh. And I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Well, you never know. Can we see these two young lasses?
I just hit my knee.
Here's mom.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez.
She can fuck. I can tell. Just by looking at her, I can tell that lady knows how to get down.
Wait, what's the Honey Boo Boo? She looks like Honey Boo Boo.
She's way classier than Honey Boo Boo.
Why? Because she got her hair pulled up?
I can't pick out anything that would make her classier, but all right. Oh, and there's the daughter.
That's
all right. Well, okay.
Look at those crazy eyes.
Those eyes right there tell you why that bed broke. That is sums up the reason that bed is broke.
If you're gonna buy low budget bed frames, and look at that, dude. That's not even a one by.
It's a press board.
Dude, okay, look, there's a weight. I'm sorry, all right, but there's a weight limit on those things, all right. And if you're gonna be jumping up and down, that makes the force even more.
Yeah, that's Kyle.
Okay. Looks like Philip C. Hoffman.
Those eyes.
Buy something other than IKEA furniture.
Why are you on Pornhub?
At least if you know you're gonna be getting at it. I mean, I've heard rumors you can reinforce the bed so you don't have situations such as that.
That makes me angry. That is not. You broke a bed that you shouldn't have been on in the first place, for one. If I was the mom, sure, yeah, sewer, mom, sewer. She's a spoiled, rotten brat who needs to stay off your unsafe furniture that you probably should have spent more money on.
Did they leave any contact information for? Just curious.
Oh, sorry,
Any
Scott.
contact information for this
You
dude?
could probably,
I've always been needing to get to Australia.
if you go and look up the old TV show Trial by Kyle, you could probably find a furniture store nearby and be like, has there been a mom and daughter in here together that were like screaming and choking each other while they
Looking
were
for a bed.
beds? Yeah.
Did they look slutty? That's what I'm looking for. All right, we got another story.
We do.
Dude, stupid. I don't know if I should be on this show. Stupid makes me angry. Like, it
We're
flat
gonna-
out makes me angry.
You're gonna get more of it.
I'm a pretty level guy, but stupid makes me like it makes me angry.
So I'm trying to see if I can expand this to share it. So did you hear about the driving mouse?
The driving mouse.
Yeah, the driving
Yeah,
mouse.
his name's Ralph. Drives a little red convertible.
Is it Mighty Mouse?
This mouse doesn't have the money that Ralph had, apparently. His car is not a red convertible. So researchers have taught rats to drive tiny cars. So they basically made these rat-equipped cars that rats can see out of in their normal driving position. And they've taught the rats how to drive the cars.
They did.
Did they hop him up on nicotine first?
Hopefully. It says, if you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask for a glass of milk. If you give a rat a tiny car, he'll drive it to his Fruit Loops reward, new research suggests.
I like that.
Oh,
Obviously, it was
my son failed his driving test like 3 times. Maybe I should have had a Fruit Loop reward at the end of it.
it's got to be a child. It's got to be a child mouse because kids like flavors, and no one else will ever eat.
That's not an adult mouse.
Yeah, definitely. So let me
And here come the rat rod jokes.
find let me find some. That's hilarious. Some photos here. Oh, geez. His car is kind of funny. Here we go. And I'm not sure why it looks like it's got a toe strap. But there's the rat. Let's see.
Wait a second.
Wait, how is the rat even driving?
Oh, does it have 2 little joysticks? Is he actually driving it?
This better not be an RC.
All I know, I just want to say one thing. This is probably a funded research study, right?
Why?
How did you present that to because you got to present it to somebody.
Oh, here's the
University.
information.
Be
you're
like, look, we
for.
got these mini cars. We're
Learning-
going to put fucking rats in them.
It gets better. It gets better. So, learning to drive small cars helps rats feel less stressed, scientists found.
Fucking A.
Researchers at the University of Richmond in the U.S. taught a group of 17 rats how to drive little plastic cars in exchange for bits of cereals. Study lead Dr. Kelly Lambert said the rats felt more relaxed during the task, a finding that could help with the development of non-pharmaceutical treatments for mental illness. The rats were not required to
having them drive around.
Yeah.
That's the cure.
Dr. Lambert and her colleagues built a tiny electric car by attaching a clear plastic jar to an aluminum plate fitted to a set of wheels.
Dr. Lambert's a dick.
A copper wire was then threaded horizontally across the jar, the cab of the car, to form 3 bars for left, right, and center. So the rat basically had 3 joysticks.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'll tell you what, those rats, they're not married and they're not letting their wives drive. That's for goddamn sure, because that is not less stressful.
Oh, it gets
That
better.
is extremely stressful.
To drive.
Dude, you know what? I'm the opposite. You know what's stressful for me? Driving with my wife.
Oh yeah, that's
Me driving.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna see, she'll get on me. She's like, why don't you just sit there and play with your phone? I'm like, fine, cool. put my phone. I just don't want you to hit the
Dude,
person in
me
front
and
of you
Jennifer are
6
the
inches from their
same.
bumper. That's my only complaint. When you're driving, my only complaint is don't tailgate the guy in front of you.
Yes.
When I'm driving, she freaks out about why are you going this way? What are you doing that way? What are you
Yep.
doing this for?
Oh my
gosh, stop.
Or
There's an
the
18-wheeler.
over exaggerated response to like minor like
Oh, there's a
like
car.
you like barely brake to stop. Oh! Like grabs
I've
the
got
side
to
of the
the
car. I'm like,
point-
are you fucking serious? Like,
Or
I've
they
got to the point where she goes, "Are you driving?" I'm like, "No."
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
Oh,
It's
there's
stressful for me having to drive
Jennifer's
behind. Either way.
Yeah, it's funny because mine is exactly the same way. It's like they read the same handbook. And there's been a few times where I just like finally got fed up enough. And I don't get mad very often, but I finally got fed up enough that I just slammed on the brakes and like pulled into the parking lot, fucking threw it in park and jumped out. Was like, I'm done. Fucking take it.
You stopped and got out of the car and said you were done.
Yeah. I was like, I can't listen to one more second.
I roll her window down. It's typically what I'll do. When she starts complaining too much, I'm like, tell them, and I'll just roll her window down. And it'd be like, it's 19 degrees outside. I'll be like, well, then you probably shouldn't complain.
Yeah, I don't have that.
You want the window back up? I'll lock it. I'll lock the fucking window down. I don't care. That's what I
Maybe
do.
that's what me and Stan do wrong. We don't put up enough of a fight.
You got to fight back.
You
gotta
fight.
No. You have to when presented with the situation, you have to hit it head on, girl. Head on. Just
So
like
we've got one more news article that I just thought was interesting.
I like news articles.
The headline totally got me.
I like news articles.
Hazmat team responds after uranium gets delivered to halfway house. That was the headline. I was like, click. They baited me right into that one.
Uranium?
Yeah. A man living at a Pennsylvania halfway house ordered 2 grams of powdered uranium for $12 from a Michigan company. Authorities say no charges will be filed because the shipment was legal and poses no health threats.
Until he puts it into whatever the heck he's using it for.
Police say the
He
hardwood
puts it, yeah, till he fucking dumps it in somebody's water supply.
he's probably
Nukes the whole town.
THC carts he's making in the halfway
Could
house.
be THC cards. Those things are awesome.
Giving him a little throat hit. Upper Darby police say the Harwood House resident ordered 2 grams of powdered uranium for $12. It was in powdered form and sealed inside a glass vial. The halfway house screens all incoming packages and found the powder. They notified authorities, who determined the substance was uranium-238, a material that can be shipped through the mail.
Wow.
Not clear why the resident ordered the uranium. Authorities say the substance posed no health threat.
Isn't it? Wait, so uranium-238 is not radioactive?
I guess not. I know uranium. What is uranium? What is it actually? I think it's plutonium that is used for weapons.
That's correct.
Is uranium used for energy?
It's the most common isotope found in nature, apparently.
I don't think it's used for energy. I know it's radioactive, but I don't think it's used for anything.
Yeah, it's non-fissile, which means it cannot sustain a chain reaction in a thermal neutron reactor. And it's fertile.
I think mod makers should buy uranium-238 and mix it into resin and make mods glow.
Yeah, I'm down. And that's it for the news today.
Great job, Charlie.
Nice job, Charlie.
So I've got a little
this.
bit of advocacy stuff. Something very interesting I picked up on the Twitters today. As we know, the health of the United States, it is the CDC's number one obligation, and they are doing everything they can, Charles McLaren, the Baron, to protect those in the United States of anything that could be wrong. They are all over it. I found an interesting article today on the CDC. This was published today by NPR, which, if you don't know, is National Public Radio. Pretty reputable. Charlie? Reputable? Yep. NPR?
Yeah, I usually use them as a source of reference, depending on the article. But yeah, they're
a little left-leaning, I think.
Most of their
pretty reputable.
Yeah, most of their reporters are like privately, they actually report to get good stories and get information, like actually do their research.
Yeah.
So,
That's what I get from them as well. Is they're actually like real reporters where they actually go out for like a year and do something and then write a story about it. That's what I
that's
gather.
how I
from them.
feel as well.
So today they released an article at 7 a.m. this morning regarding the the lung illnesses that the CDC has so diligently been trying to stop in the United States of America. Well, they interviewed a doctor that actually led the response team. So they have like an emergency response team. When something like this happens, they establish an emergency response team. They put them in a conference room. They basically, all they do, they bring in whoever they need, and they try to figure out what exactly is causing the problem and how they're going to notify the public to stop it. So the person that they put in charge, her name was Dr. Dana Mainley Delman. She is a gynecologist.
That's my wife's gynecologist.
That might be. She's a gynecologist by trade, but to her credit, she has led and we kind of discussed this before, Charlie. She's led several other emergency response teams, and when you get in a position like that, you're not really using your medical experience as much as you are your research and like data collecting and looking through data. So it's more of a management job than it is actually diagnosing.
Right. It's more, I would say it's kind of more like project management or.
So it's not really that she's a gynecologist, really doesn't matter. That's not a knock against her that she led.
That's about it. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, so it's very interesting. So this is a reference. I'm going to put you in a time frame. Now, this all happened in the summer, started in the summer. So she says that early in the summer, this was her response. Said, we've narrowed this down. We've narrowed this clearly to THC containing products that are associated with most patients who are experiencing the lung injury. So in the middle to beginning of the summer, they already had narrowed it down clearly. She uses the word clearly to THC containing products. Yet the CDC did not come out and tell people that it was THC related products. In fact, until the fall, they were still saying that it was nicotine and THC products. Vaping, not vape, stop vaping, everything. So
how many times did this? The CDC stands for can't do crap, by the way. But how many times did the CDC actually say that they haven't narrowed the problem down to a specific product or a specific thing?
The doctor from the CDC told two congressional committees, we just lost Charlie, told two congressional committees that they had not narrowed it down. And that was in the middle of September. Both of those committees were in the middle of September, that they had not narrowed it down. But the doctor who led it is now saying that they had narrowed it down in the beginning of the summer, that it was specifically narrowed it this clearly to THC containing products.
So basically they gave all these governors and everything a actual
representative, yeah.
They gave them all a reason to come down on our heads for for really no purpose at all. And,
ultimately,
they just gave them the reason they were looking for.
Yeah.
And then now we're dealing with all this crap, all these flavor bans and everything. Never had to happen.
That's exactly right. And for me, it's a big thing. Alex Azar, who is Secretary of the Health and Human Services, is the guy that was sitting at Donald Trump, next to Donald Trump and Melania.
Oh, he's the worst.
Sofa, when they did the press conference about vaping. And Trump's like talking about trade with China and South Korea. And he's like, yeah, China and South Korea, we're working on the numbers. And by the way, people think vaping is wonderful, and it's not wonderful at all. So we're going to talk about flavors. Where the hell did that come from?
Right.
But
do you think she's trying to save her job? Sorry,
Who?
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Are you talking about the lady? Which one? The lady that...
The one that's the lady that actually is like, look, we knew about this in the summertime. You think she's trying to save her job?
This is what I think, Stan. This is honestly what I think of the CDC.
Tinfoil hat.
I think the CDC is so fucking unorganized. And everybody does their own fucking thing and nobody communicates. I don't think she thought she did anything wrong by saying that. I really don't. I think she's just like, well, yeah, this is what we were telling them the whole time. Not really knowing that the CDC was not reporting to anyone.
But there's also...
I don't think she thinks she fucked up. I just think they don't know what the hell they're doing.
I don't necessarily know that she did screw up. If she did her job and she told the person who she reports to, she gave them her findings. If they choose to ignore those and make a totally unrelated claim, or don't release that information or withhold it, I don't necessarily think she is the demon.
No, she didn't screw up. She didn't screw up at all. She did.
That's why I'm saying, do you think she's trying to say, hey man, look, I didn't do nothing wrong, I did things the right way, it ain't me?
It's definitely possible. Or maybe she's saying, I can't believe they're trying to get away with what they're pulling. I want to learn more about it. I'm really interested in it. It's a big deal, the fact that they knew that. And I was telling, it is
a big deal. It's a huge deal because people died. We're talking the summer. We're talking, they could have saved people.
Well, I was one of the huge THC card busts that they did, not the most recent one with the Ronin Mods guy, but one we talked about on the show, probably
one in Wisconsin.
Might have been. They discussed the investigation going on since June, and that they had concerns about tainted THC cartridges, and that they were gathering evidence in the investigation that led to the arrest of these people. Basically, they found them in June, and they continued to gather evidence, I'm sure, through undercover purchases up until a few weeks ago when they made the bust. So I think there's going to be a lot more that comes out that points back to that June date.
I think it is. I think it is. It's so scandalous, and we all know what happened. If you've ever dealt with any kind of stuff like this before, is the people at the top were told, here's the narrative. Here's the narrative we want to push, and you need to make sure your data matches this narrative. And they come back and they say, well, we can do that. CD says we can do that. The FDA didn't really follow those marching orders. If you notice, the FDA was still kind of like, well, we know it's, I mean, they even said, we know it's THC vape. We know this THC is what's causing the majority of these problems. And the CDC sat there in the same meeting. It didn't say shit.
A friend of mine is an addiction counselor specialist, and I was reading some of her tweets and stuff, and it was basically all recent in the past week. It looks like there's things coming out that show that THC cartridges are causing illness. It looks like vaping is we know vaping is scary, but THC vaping is even more scary. And it's like, I just wanted to pull my hair out, because all these medical professionals or psychologists, basically people involved from the medical community, even if they're not doctors or nurses, they're just getting the information basically in the cliff notes that are being emailed, and they're buying it. They don't know any better.
Right. I think what needs to be just driven home here is, as far as vaping goes and e-cigarettes usage, e-cigarettes are for smokers to get off of cigarettes and to move to a safer alternative. They're not for somebody who doesn't smoke. They're not for somebody to just pick up and be like, I want to vape an e-cigarette. That's not their intention. But that's what's being muddled in this whole thing, is they're saying, well, kids are picking them up and using them, blah, 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 blah. They're going to become lifelong nicotine addicts. Well, yeah, but that's not the intention of what e-cigarettes are.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand, is they only see, the people who are making the decisions only see the problem as people picking them up who have never used nicotine. And that's what they're hammering us on, when that's not the intention of these items. It never has.
I know what you just said, though.
That they're painting us as big tobacco, in my opinion.
They're trying.
Yes, they're trying to compare us exactly. Yes, exactly. But on the other hand, what you just said, lifelong nicotine addicts. So what? And not really, in my opinion, because so what? No,
right.
The fact that if people actually understood nicotine and didn't look at it like as demonic as it has been made out to be, just because it's part of cigarettes. Look, quitting smoking was so hard for me, because in the way I felt, even when I switched to vaping, I went through crazy withdrawals. I got headaches, I got stomach aches, I got all kinds of stuff for at least 2 weeks.
Yep.
And
wasn't the nicotine, was it?
It's not the nicotine that you have the problem with. Like, nicotine to me is like caffeine. I could go a few days without nicotine if I need to. It's fine. Yeah, I get a little crabby, but whatever. Just like caffeine. If I go a few days without having like energy drink or something in the morning, like, you know, it kind of sucks, takes that to get like the boost or whatever, but I can make it through the day. I'll be fine.
Yeah,
You know?
and like and Stan, you see it, I know, in your career field, the amount of coffee that people drink. And that's like no big deal.
Dude.
It's not like, oh shit, we're creating a lifelong coffee.
I work for Italians, bro.
Right.
I work for Italians. There is an espresso machine. There's 2 espresso machines on every floor of my building.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how it was too.
And all day long, there's a crowd around the espresso machines, bro. It's not even a joke. And it's whatever.
That's what pisses me off so much. And it's like if some kid goes and drinks gasoline and then decides to light his urine on fire while he's peeing.
That's a good idea.
All of a sudden, they're going to ban drinking milk because they were both drinking. Like, drinking's obviously not wonderful, according to Mr. Trump.
Here's something to file away. Here's something to think about. And this is a point that Stan touched on, something I've said forever, is the things that are addictive in cigarettes. Maybe, yes, nicotine is an addictive substance, but the things added to cigarettes are to make the nicotine more addictive and make you crave it more and to keep you smoking. So when scientists looked at this, whatever lab they were in with nicotine, they decided what compounds they can put with it in order to make it more addictive. Now, the difference between when you go away from smoking and start vaping, you go through withdrawals. You go through withdrawals, but it's not from nicotine. It's from the other shit that they put in it. And the scary thing is that when big tobacco takes control of the vaping industry, which they're certainly trying to do, what are they going to do to the liquid to make it more addictive? What are they going to do? Are they going to enhance it, change it? Does it become carcinogenic then after they enhance it and change it? And if they do that, then I'll tell you what the solution is. Order all your e-liquid from the UK. Just get it from the UK because they're actually honest over there and using it as harm reduction like it is intended. And as a smoking cessation device, I'm going to order all my shit from the UK. I'm not going to get any shit from the United States because I do not trust what they will put in it.
There is a shop. Sorry, real quick. I'll just on his point. There's a shop that I used to frequent all the time. I don't go to any shops anymore. I should. But there's a shop right up the road from me, and the owner, she's an amazing person. Okay, she's an amazing person, and she used to live on a tobacco farm, and she worked for Big Tobacco, and she swept the floors in the processing plants for the tobacco. She said that they would lay out all the dried tobacco on belts, and they would go under. You know how when you go through a car wash and they have those sprayers and it would spray shit like on your car or whatever before. Yeah, she said the tobacco would go through like a number of these sprayers, and it would just like saturate with all the chemicals and everything before they would dry it out again to actually.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that makes perfect sense based on the IQOS and how they're making the heat sticks for the IQOS. It's a very similar process to that. It would scare the shit out of people.
Dude, and I can't stand the IQOS. Pisses me off so much. It's a freaking cigarette. I don't care what anybody says. I have seen it used. I have been right there. I have seen one cut open. It still burns the damn tobacco. I don't give a shit. It's like if you dry out the cotton in this, it's gonna burn. Yeah, when you vape on the freaking IQOS, the leaves lose the glycol that they actually are soaking it in, and the leaves still burns. Like you can cut it open and it's black. It's still smoking.
So I found out what they do. They basically take, for lack of a better word, all the trimmings of tobacco, and they grind it up like almost to a powder, it sounds like, and make it into a paste. And then they take that paste and they roll it out like paper pulp. Basically, they roll that paste out to be in big sheets. Well, before they make it into that paste, they also treat it with their typical process where they're spraying it or whatever with the stuff they're going to add to it. So they roll it into that sheet, and then they take that sheet and they slice it so that this pasty substance, they basically slice it, dry it, and then wrinkle it up together. So this pasty substance looks like tobacco leaves to tobacco smokers, even though it's been like turned into a crystallized formula and then made wet and mushy and rolled out, re-dried, shredded, and wrinkled just so it looks like a leaf. It's retarded. I mean,
so one more thing, I'm going to change the subject here in 1 second, but I wanted to say, what is the product from, I believe it's from Sweden, called Snus. So here's so this stuff, Snus is supposed to be like 95% safer than cigarettes or 80% safer than cigarettes. And you know what's funny?
Harm reduction.
So Snus is getting approved through different governments in England. It's starting to get popularity, and they're thinking about bringing it over here to the United States. There's been some talk about it, and approving it, and the FDA is looking at it, things like that. All the anti-vaping organizations are now against that as well.
Well, let me tell you.
Notice they're not going after the anything to do with tobacco.
While.
They're only going after harm reduction products.
Well,
this tells you what their intention is.
Snus has been here since Camel came out with it, but I can tell you originally, this goes back to what Stan was saying about treating the tobacco. The snus that was coming from Sweden, where it's from, has nearly a 0% cancer rate, and we have long-term studies on that. You know, for 20, 30, 40 years, people have been using snus.
Right.
Weren't seeing the cancer rates that people in America were seeing with snuff and chewing tobacco, because it hasn't been, it's either one is pasteurized, one is unpasteurized, and snus doesn't have the additives that big tobacco puts in over here. So they're seeing almost no cancer. They don't have the mouth cancer problems that we have from our snuff over here that's been treated with additives. Well, snus just got a modified risk tobacco approval from the FDA. So snus is actually allowed, like with PMTA, e-liquid will be able to be sold on the market. A modified risk would allow people in vape shops to say it's less harmful than smoking. So snus just got its modified risk approval from the FDA, so they can actually put on the label that it's a less harmful alternative, or it's safer for you. Things, the health claims they won't let us make. So that could be good for us down the road, because
they also make snus packets with coffee grinds now as well, so that you don't have to use tobacco at all. I don't remember what the company's name is, but they've been doing that for about a year or so.
So the one other thing
into the coffee grounds,
I don't know how it works.
Okay.
So the one other thing I wanted to bring up, there's a new RDA apparently getting ready to come out that I saw part of a video for the other day. I kind of wanted to get you gentlemen's thoughts on it. Were you a fan of the Dead Rabbit, Stan?
The Dead Rabbit, I was more a fan of the Drop Dead than I was the Dead Rabbit.
I like the Dead Rabbit. I liked it, but I like the Drop better.
I like the Drop Dead. I liked the Drop over the Dead Rabbit, and I like the Drop Dead better over the Dead Rabbit as well.
Did you hear there's a Dead Rabbit 2 coming out?
I did hear that, and I saw a video on it, and
I did as well.
It's not much different. I mean, there's little tweaks here and there, like tiny little things, but it's not real different.
Kind of weird.
Why do you bring it up, my friend?
I was just throwing it out there. I saw a video, provoked a sort of an emotional response for me. I normally don't step out of my lane, but I will say that I think it's pretty lame. I really, really do. And I think that I will not be purchasing one. I'll tell you that. There's no way.
I won't either. And I'm one of those guys. All products, ultimately, we give the nickname cash grab to a lot of stuff and overuse the term. All products are a cash grab. We've talked about this before, Scott, because ultimately you need to at least break even on a product. You've got to have some profit margin in there.
The whole point of selling a product is to make money. I mean, the term cash grab on everything is pretty annoying in my opinion.
I'm the same way. But I was highly disappointed that when Billy came out and came back and did a video for the first time since the Fat Rabbit, with everything that's going on, he didn't step up and inform his viewers, because he's probably got a few viewers that watch him and nobody else. And I haven't seen any advocacy or calls to action or just general news and information for people. Hell, a swaggin' style 30-second video on YouTube with a few websites people could see. Like, I would have liked to have seen anything or heard a mention out of him besides the same story we've heard the last 3 product releases.
My take on this is that the people that do YouTube channels, whether you want to or not, if you do a YouTube channel in this community, it's kind of your responsibility to discuss things and to at least communicate what is really happening with this industry. I don't have any financial ties to this industry. I don't like make any money from it. Whatever. But at the same time, I love this community, and I think that we need to band together. And I think that people hold a responsibility to the community to do that. And when I see people more concerned with products and things that they're putting out than they are with advocacy, or with even mentioning it or doing anything, or just showing up every, it's the uncle that shows up every 6 months trying to borrow $20 from you. It's what it reminds me of. And it's irritating. It's irritating. And I think that without mentioning names, I think the gentleman needs to really take a hard look and think, well, maybe I should do more to support this community and less about things that I have to profit from.
I gotta say, I met Billy's probably the first. You said no names, and I said his name. Oops. But he's one of the first people that I ever had contact with in the industry, like that had a bigger name. He actually got people's eyes on the Lucid for me before anybody else.
That's nice.
And I got nothing against the guy. I do have to say it is kind of like, I know he went through some personal stuff and had to step away. I do think that if you were going to come back, especially at this time, you don't do it with a product release. That's just my personal opinion, just because of how it looks. Whether he means it to look that way or not, I think it does kind of look kind of crappy. But he did say on his video that he wanted to do more advocacy stuff and things on his channel, but it's like, I guess it's never too late on one side, but on the other side, it's like, damn, that looks shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how. But I don't know how to feel about it.
But Stan, no, I understand that you have, and I'm not but I will say this, and I hope you can concede to this point: it is kind of too late. It is, because when you have a channel that has 75,000 subscribers that are all in the vape community, that you could rally them to do something. I have 3,500. So his voice is legitimately 2,000% higher than mine to get out to the public, that you could talk about advocacy, talk about what's going on in Washington, D.C., bring up November 9th and the rally that we're having there, bring up anything to do with advocacy, point people towards Twitter, or get people involved talking to their congressman. He's got that platform.
But
But the only thing he's using that platform for is what? What is he doing on his platform? You tell me.
Product release.
Okay.
There's no arguing that point. I'm just saying, like, I get it. I get both sides of it.
Yeah, and I want to bring up a couple of things real quick. First thing is, he didn't see this shit happening in the last 2 or 3 weeks and call up his buddies in China and say, hey, let's tweak the design a little bit and get an RDA machine and on the market in 2 weeks. It doesn't work like that. He at least had the idea, in my opinion, before this shit happened, just because of, and you would know better than me, Stan, but I'm thinking he may have rushed it. They may have decided to release now, whatever the case was, but I don't think he just started working on it a few weeks ago and has it to market already.
That doesn't make the logistics of that make no sense.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is, I definitely think he should use his voice and his reach to get to people, but that doesn't mean he's not doing anything. There's no telling what he may be doing that we don't know about, as far as supporting advocacy or the rally or making donations or whatever the case is. Don't assume just because you don't see people doing something or they don't post it all over Facebook that they're not doing something. I was just giving my first impression based on what we saw, but I don't want people to think that's always automatically the case, that if someone comes out with a product and it's bad timing, that's the issue, or that people aren't doing things behind the scenes because they are.
Changing from that to the actual product itself, I will say that I wish that it was different.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, honestly, there's not really much difference. There's not really much change at all, honestly. There's, like I said, there's 1 or 2 little tweaks to it.
And it's a tough market right now. And I think he's got a product that most of the people that want one kind of already have one that's very similar.
Mhm.
We'll see, but it's a tough market with a brand new innovative device. I can't imagine trying to get something out right now in the middle of all this shit.
The name will carry it, though. The name will carry it. There's a lot of people that live and die by the dead rabbit. The name will carry it.
We'll see the tank. Even though the tank is a decent sub tank, it didn't seem that the tank did very. I don't know how it's doing in sales, but it didn't seem like there was very much hype behind the tank, even though the tank carried the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we'll see, because you never know how things are doing in shops, but I'm just not seeing a ton of them as far as the number of units sold as we've seen with other products.
Are you guys going to DC?
Yes, I am.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I heard you say that you weren't going to be able to make it.
I don't think I can. It would be pretty selfish of me to go. I have to go see my daughter. Well, I don't have to. I go see my daughter at the end of the month of November. It would be selfish for me to spend that money to go.
Right. And I totally understand that. And there's been posts all over Facebook about not bashing people for not going, but I just want to reinforce it. There's a lot of different parts to this community and to activism in general, and we all play our parts. And some of us can go, some of us can make it, and others can't. Others do things in ways, whether it's advocating or supporting people or helping organize or research in the background, whatever it might be. So there's still, even though people aren't going, they're doing a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like I don't feel like I feel bad not going because I kind of want to be there. I think it'll be an awesome experience. I'd like to see everybody.
Yeah.
But it would be selfish of me to spend that money to do that right now. Just because
you talk, everybody that watches your show or watches your channel hears about advocacy, hears about what's going on, hears about, I mean, you can't say that Black Cat Whiteface doesn't, talk about advocacy and stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
And I try to do my best.
I'm stoked about it. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow. There's been a lot of accusations about us all being bots. I think people have come up with very creative ideas to show that they're not bots on Twitter. But I'm stoked to see all of us together. Honestly, I'm looking forward just to walking through the airport and seeing other vapors and people wearing their shirts and people who give a shit about their vote. Most people that are going to this rally, it wasn't an easy thing. We had to dig really deep. And
I got a plane ticket round trip for $150. Sorry, I was super stoked on that.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, freaking awesome. I unfortunately, because I'm in such a little town in the middle of nowhere, my flight tickets were expensive. And me and my girl are going. So I had to buy 2 plane tickets, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to swing it. I have a trip the next week as well that was already planned. And Greg Conley came through with the win. He was like, hey, I got some companion tickets, with my airline miles. If anybody needs to fly from the same city, hit me up. So there was a few adjustments I had to make, but basically with him giving me that deal, he cut my plane tickets from $1,000 down to $500.
Wow.
Dang.
I had to make a hotel change because of the flight changes. And I found that I was able to find a hotel that I could use my reward points with. So Greg Connolly offering that to me saved me right at $1,000 cash money.
He's a good dude, man, from what I understand. I never met him, but from hearing people's stories and stuff.
I'm going to start looking at flights, and I'm going to see. I'm going to see if I can jet in there and jet out. I mean, I could actually drive it. It's only about 8.5 hours. I could actually drive it.
A friend of mine got his round trip for $87.
Flight?
Yeah, he's flying.
I'm going to start looking at him. I'll start looking at him.
For him, it was like basically $50 more to fly into, I think, Reagan, the airport close by. But 87, he flew into Baltimore, and one of our friends is picking him up and bringing him to.
That's what I'm doing. I'm flying into BWI.
Have you ever made that drive?
No.
From Baltimore to DC? Are you flying in the same day as the rally?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because
I'm
it'll take
flying
you
in
about 3
Friday.
hours. It'll take you about 3 hours to get from Baltimore to
Yeah, well, one
That's
of
okay.
our
It's
friends,
awful. That drive is awful.
yeah, one of our friends that lives right outside Baltimore is going to pick him up at the airport and bring him down, and then he's going to come Friday night, and I think just stay with us since he's driving him all the way down there. So,
Dude, that's a trip from like city to city in Texas, bro. Like that's not even a thing. Like, that's, 3 hours is nothing.
3 hours. Yeah, Texas is so big. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, and like where we
But
are,
it's literally like Fort Worth to Dallas, but it takes 3 hours to get there.
Yeah.
That road that's terrible getting.
Yeah.
into.
so.
Oh my god.
But yeah, check into tickets, and we'll find you guys. I'll help you guys find a place to stay if you can get a flight. If you decide to go, if not, it's
I'm
no
gonna
big
try.
deal. But I'm stoked about it. I know
I'm-
we're getting late into the show, but I want to cover a couple more things if we
Sure.
have time. Are you guys good for 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, go ahead.
So first of all, I just want to give a shout out and a thank you to everybody at the VTA. These state bans that we've been watching and these lawsuits have been amazing. I work in the legal field. I never expected to see 3 states have decisions in our favor as quickly as we've seen so far. The VTA had lawsuits in place and ready to go when this happened and got them out amazingly quickly. If y'all saw, go ahead.
How do you think that the overturn or the what are they called? The injunctions being filed so quickly. How do you think that what actions do you think that's putting those governors into? Because governors especially don't like to be showed up like that.
Yeah, and it's a huge deal because other governors look at it. In my mind, other states are looking at it that we're thinking, maybe I need to step up and do something to show that I care about the kids. And they see that happen and say, wait, maybe there's more to it. Maybe I don't really want to stick my dick all the way out there just to get it chopped off, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was awesome that they got New York filed as quick as they did. They basically had an emergency plan in place that when it happened, they went into action. And I think it was less than a week from when it happened to getting the lawsuit filed that led to things getting overturned. So a lot of people have always said, what has advocacy done? Or show me a win for advocacy, or advocacy doesn't do shit, kind of a thing. And the VTA has a big fucking list of wins right now.
Yeah, they do.
And they're a reason that we're still kicking and fighting. And it's not over. I tell people this all the time. Don't get burnt out because we're in for a long fight. But what's happened so far has really been great. So the other thing that I wanted to cover is I'm going to drop a link in chat. I've really been advocating for people to support their local vape shops because right now with the scares that's happening, everybody's hurting. I mean, the biggest cash cows of vape shops are hurting right now and not able to cover their overhead because they're not seeing the walk-ins and the smokers converting.
Dude, my sales on my site dropped almost 80%.
Yeah.
Did they really?
That's why I'm running a 40% off sale on lucidrda.com. Code
Blacktober.
Black October.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I haven't bought anything. I really haven't bought anything since this all started.
Yeah,
it's been crazy.
I kind of understand it. Regular people are scared shitless, and all of us that are in the know that kind of buy a lot of stuff obsessively are so wrapped up in advocacy right now. We're not making a lot of purchases either, or we're donating money that we have or spending it on something for advocacy. So I just threw a link. I know not everyone has vape shops either worth supporting in their town or vape shops at all in their town. And the guys doing it wrong that are just selling jewel pods out the back door, I get not some gas station, not supporting them. But I dropped a link in chat for the VTA supporting members. There's a lot of distros and some online sites and stuff and shops on that list. Those guys have put their money up first for the VTA to fight for advocacy. So if you're wondering who to buy from online, that's a good spot to check. Stan's not on that list, but he actually gave the VTA his Learjet. So they didn't have a category for him.
No, if you're a shop that's in one of these areas that's getting this flavor ban stuff happening like super quick, I know it's tough, but try to write it out a little bit. Contact the VTA, and hopefully they're getting some kind of information on possible injunction. Don't close up right away.
For sure. And unfortunately, that's what we've seen some of in New York and Massachusetts, and in states that haven't even had flavor bans, shops are having to close their doors. And it sucks to have to close your doors and a week later find out that you can sell flavors again and you might have been able to squeeze it out. So as hard as it is, just try to ride it out. Sell what you got to sell out of your shop. If it's freaking pillows your wife is knitting or CBD products or whatever will sell and let you pay the rent. Just try to keep your doors open and contact your state organization, because they are working their butts off right now, and most state organizations are keeping an eye on what the VTA is doing, and their members know way more than we do about what's going on, because a lot of that is kept inside the circle for strategy reasons. So just do what you can to support the guys that are doing it right, and to support your local guys. Even if it's just buying one bottle of juice you would typically buy online, but you can swing buying it from the shop, stop in and let them know you're still willing to be a customer and you're there to support them. And
absolutely,
Stan is having a big sale on Lucid RDA.
That's right. Head over to lucidrda.com. 40% off. Dude, that's crazy.
Somebody asked what's on there. The code didn't work, and just real quick, it's 40% off on pretty much all the designs in solid silver, stand designs in solid silver stuff with code Black October, and then 25% off for all the other hardware with code Get It Now. So
there's
two codes, man. Two prices, or two codes for two different sales at the same time, and the codes don't stack. So if you place two orders, it'll work, but if you place one order, you can use one code or the other.
Somebody asked in chat if there was a blacklist for companies not to support. Not that I know of, and we're trying to unite right now. Everybody's got to have one voice, so it's all about bringing people together, not tearing anyone down. The bandwidth it would take just for advocates to tell you the people that are doing it wrong is bandwidth that they could be using in better ways. So I'm sure dirt will be slung at the end, but for now, we're just all trying to support each other. And if somebody's not involved, we want to get them involved.
Hey, here's a company you can support in Michigan. Independent Vapor Company.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that guy.
Dude, they're a great company. I had them on the stew, and they're a great company. The dude does a lot for advocacy. He does a lot for the industry, and they're just a really good company to support. And they're in Michigan, which you guys know how Michigan's doing. So
yeah,
supporting
they're fighting though. They got it postponed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
They I don't want to give too much information to be wrong, but we did have an injunction put in place in Michigan. I want to say today or Monday they start selling flavored liquid again. And the government has a lot of proving of things to do if they're going to try to come after us again. The whole vape kills people just isn't working anymore with all the science that's coming out on THC carts. The last thing is we've been accused of being bots. We need you guys. We need you guys on Twitter, even if all you do is repost, which is really easy. It's one tap and it reposts for you. Get on Twitter, follow Grim Green, follow Greg Connolly, who's at Greg THR for tobacco harm reduction. BlackCat Whiteface is constantly reposting and tweeting. Follow him. There's a long list. You can hit me up on Facebook if you have any questions, and I'll get you some other ones.
There's a list in the Vape Stew crew. There's a list of Twitter follows too.
Oh, perfect!
I love it. There's so much good information on Twitter, and it's so much fun to actually bring up truth and promote truth, especially and if you read these antis their post, it's like if you read the comments, they're all vapors like no, like all of them. It's so wonderful to see. It's the best.
I gotta tell you about this one. Hold on. This one that I think we all know by now if you're on Twitter. The Oh, what's her name? Hold on.
Aaron Mills.
Aaron Mills. Yeah, New York
Is
soccer
it
mom.
Aaron Mills? What's her Twitter name?
New York soccer mom. New York
New
soccer
York,
something.
yeah, NYS Mom for Kiddos.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, soccer mom.
Logan Exhales is a great follow on Twitter.
He is.
He does a podcast that's really good. And Erin Mills is NYS Moms for Kiddos. And if you want to go after her, go ahead. She's a piece of work. I don't care. I don't usually endorse that kind of stuff, but I really don't care.
She's awful.
She she posted a thing, okay, and one of the comments back was, yes, Aaron, flavors hook kids. How's that strawberry flavored alcohol? Because I guess she posted some stuff about strawberry flavored alcohol or whatever, and she responds with, "I'm an adult." I'm an adult. I said, yeah, you are. You're so dense too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it was Alan Davis from the Legion when she first came out hard against us. I guess Alan like went to her Twitter or her Facebook profile, and it was a picture of like 6 different flavored alcohols that she had posted on Facebook. You know, basically like YOLO, living the life with all my flavored alcohol. And so it's like, for some reason she says, yeah, but I'm an adult, that's alcohol, but flavors hook kids.
So ridiculous, man. You totally made the point yourself. You made the point yourself.
Yeah, that's her whole thing, is the hashtag flavors hook kids. And then
my favorite thing to do is to just reply to her responses, because her responses are so ridiculous.
I just tell her she's a bot. I'm like, this is a bot account. This is not even real. You are too fucking stupid. This is a bot account.
My girl is
stop posting, but she won't stop. I'll give her that. And she only has like 100 followers, and they're all us. They're nobody like follows her that is like agrees with her. Like, she literally posts something and it's just people telling her how fucking stupid she is.
We follow her for the comedic effect.
Oh yeah. Well, hey guys, I got to cut this off, man. I got Veronica upstairs getting hungry, and she's already texted me like 6 times. When are you going to be done?
Yeah, we need to shout out Roosters for helping with the fight, because I know when you're burnout on Advocacy, they give you a refresher.
I've been eating their chicken bacon sandwich. It's very tasty.
That sounds good.
The chicken sub, it's really good. All right, before we go, Stan, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you so much.
Anytime if I'm around, dude.
Oh, I'd love that. I love it. You can be a junior member of the HotTub. You know, Mark, they do. Mark's like a junior member on the Vape. I always think that's so funny. Anyway, Stan, thank you so much for coming on. Charlie, like always, do you guys have anything you want to say before we get out of here? Before I wrap it up,
I covered my stuff, I think.
Vape Stew on Tenacious TX Vapes channel tonight at 9 p.m. Central. Check that out. We like to keep it light and fluffy, so if you want to have some fun, got nothing to do on a Friday night, come join. You guys can come on too if you want. It's always welcome.
Thank you, brother.
Hell yeah.
I'll be asleep by then, probably. I'm off.
We got to break you of these old man habits.
I know, man. I need to plan it out. I need to plan a week. We'll talk earlier in the week, and I'd love to come back on. I had one of the best times ever with you guys. You guys are so much
I'm glad,
fun.
dude. I'm glad.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, hey, man. So you got the Stew on tonight. You got Tommy Vapors on tonight. You got Fresh on. And you have at 8 o'clock, you have the Rising Vapors. So make sure you tune into all those shows. I'll be in the chat hanging out. Love you guys. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Get on Twitter and do some advocacy stuff. Have some fun.
There's a link in chat to Spring's channel. They're going to have a thesis on the Rising Vapors tonight.
Oh, nice. Thesis. Okay, great. I'll be doing the Barrage. Will be my next review. So I gotta get that. Also, if you are thinking about going to Washington, D.C., make sure you're talking to people in the community. You can probably reach out to Charlie if you're looking for like anything with flights or anything. I don't know if Charlie can help.
Hit me up. I'll find someone.
He's offered to help everybody. So really appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys Monday. Vape at 5. I got some giveaways I'm gonna do Monday. Patreon giveaway on Monday, and I'll do the build repost on Monday as well. Our featured builder is Turbo Nutta. Is our featured builder on Monday. Tune in 5 o'clock for that. See you guys then. I hope everybody has a fantastic night. We will see.
Bye, Felicia.
See you tonight on the Stew.